Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, good afternoon. My screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are into the third unit, regression and classification, and we are going in detail for regression and classification. We have started with some points in classification like binary classification, multi-class classification, and then we started some points regarding regressions. So in regression last time we have seen what is overfitting issues, then what is theory of regularization. Is it right? No. So last time we have seen theory of regularization in order to remove that overfitting that is being used. Then we have also seen the hypothesis. So which is nothing but the assumption. So whatever you have been assuming, that means whatever you are expecting and whatever you are predicting, those two values are checked. So we have seen in detail about overfitting. So the theory of regularization comes into the picture to remove this overfitting issue. Now there is one more point which is needed to be studied as far as regression is concerned beyond the overfitting and hypothesis. That point is a growth function. It is somewhat little difficult to understand as mathematically if we see it, because some of the characters that is been used to define the mathematical format of the growth function is somewhat tedious, but you'll understand actually what growth function means and why the bounding of the growth function is needed. So in this lecture, actually, we are going to cover only 2 points, and one is growth function, because I do feel so that these 2 points are little complicated to understand. But if you're going to study only those 2 points, if you're going to concentrate on these 2 points, then we can understand it. We can also understand it through the examples. So the growth function in regression and why it is needed to bound that growth function, these 2 points which we are going to study in this. So you need to clear the background. We are in the regression, where in the regression part we have seen the classification part. We have finished binary multi-class classification, and we have also seen some assessing performance of the mm, classification. We are into the regression. We have seen overfitting, we have seen hypothesis, we have seen theory of regularization, and now we are moving towards the another point called as growth function. So why we need to understand this growth function is because the growth function is maximum number of ways, in number of ways into which the points can be classified by the function class. Means, suppose if I'm assuming that there are 100 points in 100 points in my data, there are 100 elements in my data. So how many ways are there which in which I should say that a new point that is coming should belong to this category A, category B, category C. So who does this? Obviously, the function class does this, because the function class decides in which class it should go. Is it right? So growth function is nothing but maximum number of ways in which the point can be classified by the function class. So that point can be classified into category A, category B in this way by the function class. So the number of ways to be defined is given by the growth function. This is very important aspects as far as classification and regression is concerned. The growth function need to be understood. The growth function can be thought as a measure of a size of a class function H. Obviously, if we are going to decide how many ways are there, that means I can measure the size also. And that can be classified by function H. So the thought as a measure of a size can be also considered as a growth function. The third point, growth function counts the most dichotomies on any endpoints. So dichotomies को भी count कर सकता है. Now next question arises, what is this dichotomous? So dichotomy इसमें यहाँ पर दिया है, देखो मैंने dichotomy is, given a hypothesis set H, a dichotomy of a set S is one of the possible ways of labeling the point of S using hypothesis H. So if you want to label the data accordingly what your hypothesis says, then dichotomy is a set of S in the possible ways of labeling those points you're using the hypothesis H. यानी कि मैं उन पॉइंट्स को लेबल करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं और एक सेट बना रहा हूं जिसको हम डायकोटोमिटी ऑफ सेट बोलेंगे, जिसमें पॉसिबल वेज ऑफ लेबलिंग होगी यूजिंग हाइपोथेसिस एस. दैट इज व्हाट द डायकोटोमी. सो डायकोटोमी कैन बी आल्सो काउंटेड विद द हेल्प ऑफ ग्रोथ फंक्शन. That is on n number of points. That is what the growth function means. The next point is Rademacher complexity can be bound in terms of growth function. Now there is a one complexity which comes into growth function. So that can be also bounded by the growth function. So the most important way of defining this growth function is bounding this Rademacher complexity. तो वो कैसे कर सकता है ग्रोथ फंक्शन? इसको बाउंड करने की कोशिश क्यों कर रहा है? यानी हम क्या क्या कर रहे हैं, देखो, हम क्लासिफाई करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद हम मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ वेज पॉइंट इन विच द पॉइंट्स कैन बी क्लासिफाइड बाय द फंक्शन क्लास निकालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. We are going to measure the size of the class of the function h. Growth function can be also used to count the dichotomies. हमने dichotomy देखी है. इसके अलावा growth function को यूज कर सकते हैं हम बाउंड करने के लिए रेडमेकर कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी को. सो हाउ द कंडीशन अकर्स, लाइक इफ आई वांट टू बाउंड दिस रेडमेकर कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी, so that means for any hypothesis that is h belongs to h and sample s that is x1 to xm, that we denote h of s as h of x1, h of x2 up till h of x1 which belongs to y raised to m. This is how the growth function is actually defined for the samples by considering the hypothesis h and the sample s, which denoted as samples and hypothesis together, called h of s, that is given by h of x1 to h of xm, which also means equal to y raised to m. So this is the Rademacher complexity which can be bounded by the growth function. The growth function for a hypothesis set h, the growth function pi of h when n belongs to n is defined by pi h of m, that is equal to max of s tends to x, which is nothing but h of x colon h to h. So h to h is meant, you have already defined that what is small h, what is capital H. What is small h and what is capital H, that we have already defined. These are the two hypotheses, that is a lower hypothesis and upper hypothesis. So growth function can be defined by these kind of functions. Now mostly this growth function can be used to bound some kind of complexity, but at the same time the growth function can be also used to define actually what the hypothesis says. So if you're going to imagine what my hypothesis is, and accordingly what you're getting the hypothesis, max of what you're thinking about the hypothesis will be helpful by the growth function. So growth function is actually very important term as far as the regression is concerned. So it is going to consider maximum number of ways in which points can be classified. It is used to measure of a size of a class of function h. It can count the dichotomies. It can bound the Rademacher complexity, and it can be given by as the pi h of m, which is equal to max of h of s colon h tends to h. That is lower h tends to upper h. So that is what the growth function is. It is somewhat little bit difficult to understand, because there are a number of terms which are been related with the probability, like set and subset and not belonging to the set. In that way it has been defined. So there are a few terms which will make you little difficult, but it is that by conceptual wise you can understand it. Following things are true about the growth functions. First is, it is the maximum number of distinct ways in which m points can be classified. So जैसे मैंने बताया कि कितने तरीके से हम classify कर सकते हैं by using the classifier function h. So similarly, it is the maximum number of distinct ways in which m points can be classified and using hypothesis in H. It is the maximum number of dichotomies for m points using hypothesis H. So you can also count the dichotomies for those m points with the help of hypothesis H. So obviously when you deal with the hypothesis, the probability comes into the picture. And when probability is to be defined, you have number of terms mathematically that has to be considered. It is a measure of richness of a hypothesis set H. Obviously growth function totally depends on what hypothesis you're going to consider. So that hypothesis is going to decide the richness of your growth function. It is a purely combinatorial measure, and unlike Rademacher complexity, it doesn't depend on unknown distribution D. So it is purely a combinational measure, means you're going to measure the things by combining all the things. Like Rademacher complexity, which depends on that distribution D, but here it does not depend on unknown distribution D. It completely depends on the known distribution that is been there. That is what you're deciding and what you're gaining, that is expected and predicted. This is all about the growth function. Now there is a need of this growth function to be bounded. So we have to see whether how this bounding can be done. For that thing, you can see that there is a set S1 and S2, and the set S1 is alpha. You can say that the points are in terms of alpha. Then S2, the terms are in terms of beta. So this S1, if you belong to points, that is, it is having the elements like x1, x2 to x of n, and the just a point before x of n is an x of n minus 1. So you do have x1 to xn of minus 1. Similarly for S1 and S2. Now beyond this, S2 can be divided into two more can be possible combinations are S2 plus and S2 minus. That is again beta and beta, and the points again ranges from x1 to x of n minus 1, and then you have an x of n. Now this is how you're bounding the points with the help of this table. So this bounding of the growth function, how it has been done, that we are going to see in this concept. So we have seen what is growth function. We have seen that how growth function can be used. We have also seen the function, mathematical function of the growth function. Now let's define it in other way regarding bounding of the growth function. So let's define the quantity b n of k. So n, we know that it is number of counts. K is nothing but that counts the maximum possible combinations on n points, with k being a breakpoint. So that means if n is the combination points and k is the breakpoint, then we can say that the quantity b of n of k can be defined. So अभी देखो कैसा है मालूम क्या कि अगर मैं कितनी पॉसिबल नंबर ऑफ वेज से क्लासिफाई कर सकता हूँ किसी भी पॉइंट्स को, यानी बहुत सारे पॉइंट्स है उनको क्लासिफाई कर सकता हूँ, ऐसे कितने वेज है मेरे पास, तो ऑब्वियसली दैट कैन बी क्लासिफाइड बाय द नंबर ऑफ क्लास फंक्शंस. सो अगर मुझे उस टर्म में काउंट करना है तो मैं कैसे काउंट करूं? If I want to do mathematically, you have to number of ways I can just classify those points with the help of classifier function. तो मैं कैसे करूंगा? So I need to have some kind of function, defining function. So that function is nothing but bn of k, where n are the points, that is a possible combination on n points, and k are the break points. Suppose if I take an example that b of n comma k, where b of n is 3 and k is 2. So where is your definition of counting? The counting will be b of n comma k, that is 3 comma 2, which is equal to 4 as an example. So break point 2 है और आपका possible combinations on n points 3 है. इस तरह से मैं इसकी काउंटिंग कर सकता हूं, क्योंकि मुझे काउंट करना चाहिए ना. कैसे करूंगा मैं काउंट के में नंबर ऑफ वेज है जिससे मैं क्लासिफाई कर सकता हूं पॉइंट्स. Is it right? So for that thing, I am actually bounding the growth function. The Bn of k corresponds to number of rows in the following table. So you can see that there are number of rows that is been defined there. Table of all possible combinations for n points with k breakpoints. So इसमें एक ही चीज आपको पकड़नी है, Bn of k, where n is the possible combination of n points, maximum number of possible combinations, and k is the break point. So जिस वक्त जिस जगह पे ये मिलेगा उस जगह पे आपको वो वैल्यू मिल जाएगी, आपको काउंट मिल जाएगा। तो आप ये पता कर सकते हैं कि भाई ये मेरा काउंट है, कि इतने पॉसिबल वेज से मैं क्लासिफाई कर सकता हूं किसी भी पॉइंट्स को बाय यूजिंग क्लासिफायर फंक्शन। नाउ there is a term called as alpha and beta, that also we have to define here, because I know what is S1, I know what is S2, these are the sets, I know what the point lies from x1 to x of n minus 1, I know this, these the rows and columns of these points are there. Now I also know that how it can be counted, like Bn comma k. Now how that is going to be useful in terms of alpha and beta, that is what is important here to understand. So how it is going to be, let alpha be the count of rows. So obviously alpha count of rows hai, that is S1 का count है, दिख रहा है आपको table, this one is. We also divide the group into group of S2 into S2 plus. Okay, so ये S2 plus और S2 minus में जाएगा, where x of n is plus and S2 minus 1, where x of n is minus. So obviously if the S2 plus is I am going to consider, then your x of n is going to be plus. If you are going to consider S2 minus, then x of n is going to be minus, and each of them have beta rows. So these are the beta rows, right? So if I could say that if I am having a count with myself and if I'm going to deal with alpha and beta, at that time this Bn of k will be equal to alpha plus 2 beta. Now this is single alpha, but beta I am dividing into two parts. What is that? It is S2 plus and S2 minus 1, and henceforth the n of k will be equal to alpha plus 2 beta colon 0, means starting from the 0 value. So that is alpha plus 2 beta. Our purpose of the following step is to find a recursive bound of B of n of k, a bound defined by B on different values of n and k. Now bounding of growth function, for this purpose we will start by trying to estimate alpha plus beta. So obviously if I'm going to go with alpha and beta, first of all by dividing beta into S2 plus 1 and S2 minus, so in that 2 beta, first in order to find out alpha plus 2 beta, first of all I should find out what the alpha plus beta means, which is nothing but number of rows in the table without point x of n. So ये यहाँ पर x of n minus 1 लेना है, यहाँ पर है ना, यहाँ पर x of n एक रो एक कॉलम और है, तो वो x of n तक जाएगा, ठीक है, this one, and the group S2 minus 1. The result in the sub table where all the rows are different, since the rows in S1 is inherently different without x of n. So x of n consider करके और x of n नहीं consider करके हम दो values निकाल रहे हैं, and the rows in which S2 plus are different from ones in S1, because if that wasn't the case, the duplicate version of the row in S1 would get its uniqueness from xn and forcing it to leave S1. So obviously uniqueness रहेगा नहीं, क्योंकि अगर मैं divide करता हूँ S2 minus 1 को और S2 plus 1 को as only S1 or S2, then it becomes difficult. So for the uniqueness के लिए हम ये सब कर रहे हैं, अदरवाइज नहीं तो फिर ये क्या हो जाएगा, S1 और S2 में कोई फर्क ही नहीं रहेगा, just like we have seen in the simple case example. Now further, since in the bigger table n points there are no k points that have all possible combinations, it is impossible to find all possible combinations in a smaller table if we consider x of n minus 1 points. This implies that k is the break point for the smaller table too. यानी कि अगर मैं s को s1 को और S2 को अलग अलग कंसिडर करता हूं, या फिर डायरेक्टली S1 और S2 लेता हूं, तो वो स्मॉलर टेबल्स के लिए मैं ब्रेक पॉइंट लगा सकता हूं. लेकिन इफ आई एम ब्रेकिंग दिस S2 into S2 plus and S1, there also I can use the k as a break point, so which will give us a new equation called as alpha plus beta, लेस देन बीटा n माइनस वन ऑफ k। सो यहाँ पर पहले n था, अभी हमने n माइनस वन लिया है, यहाँ पर ये देखो n माइनस वन। सो n माइनस वन कॉमा k। सो अल्फा प्लस बीटा हैज टू बी लेस देन b ऑफ n माइनस वन k। अभी अगर मुझे अल्फा प्लस बीटा मिल जाता है तो मुझे अल्फा प्लस टू बीटा भी मिल जाएगा। इज इट ओके? The next step now is to find an estimation of beta by studying the group S2 only and without xn points. This is how we can define the bounding of the growth function. Because the row of S2 plus are different from the ones in S2 minus, only thanks to x of n, when we remove x of n, S2 plus becomes same as x2 of minus 1. मतलब अगर मैं यहाँ से x of n निकाल देता हूँ तो फिर मेरा S2 प्लस और S2 माइनस वन सेम रहेगा। लेकिन अगर मैं यहाँ पर x of n डालता हूँ, है ना, ओनली थैंक्स टू x of n व्हेन वी रिमूव x of n, तो ये S2 प्लस वन और S2 माइनस वन सेम हो जाएंगे। लेकिन अगर मैंने यहाँ से इसको रिमूव कर दिया तो फिर वो अलग हो जाएंगे। सो दैट बिकम्स S2, अलग अलग हो जाएंगे S2 प्लस एंड S2 माइनस। Consequently, we will focus on S2 plus for the smaller version of the original table. If we suppose that k is the breakpoint, then we can find out k minus 1 that exists in all possible equations. Once I know this k, I can find out k minus points also. And if this is the case, when we add x of n back in form of minus and plus 1, we get the table where we have all possible combinations of k points. जैसे हम ये x of n वापस एक बार ऐड कर देते हैं n minus 1 की बाजू में, तो आप सारे पॉसिबल कॉम्बिनेशंस के हम फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं, वेयर k is nothing but a breaking point. Therefore, we can conclude that k minus 1 is in fact of break point for S2 plus, and since b of n minus k, k minus 1 is the maximum number of combinations for n minus 1 which have a break point of k minus 1, then we can say that beta is less than b of n minus k comma k minus 1, and the result will be b of n comma k equal to alpha plus 2 beta less than b of n minus 1 k plus b of n minus 1 k minus 1. So इस वक्त क्या है पता है क्या, ये k minus 1 और k यहाँ पर ऐड हो गया है ना। हमने n minus 1 तो लिया था पहले पार्ट में, यहाँ पर n minus 1 ये दोनों पार्ट में लिया ही था, लेकिन इसमें k और k minus 1 ये ऐड हो गया बिकॉज हमारा माइनस वन और प्लस वन ऐड हो गया। इसीलिए b ऑफ n ऑफ k को अल्फा प्लस बीटा की जगह पे अब हम अल्फा प्लस टू बीटा का अगर कॉम्बिनेशन लेते हैं तो हमको ये इक्वेशन मिलती है। दैट मीन्स आई एम बाउंडिंग माय ग्रोथ फंक्शन। दिस इज हाउ दी points are. It is somewhat little bit difficult. I made my possible combinations how to explain it in a very simple way. Otherwise, it is really difficult to make you understand how this growth function looks like. So remember the importance of x of n minus 1. यहाँ पर देखो ये x minus 1, ये x of n, बाद में ये अल्फा, ये बीटा, और ये s1 की s1 है, और ये s2 प्लस एंड s2 माइनस 1. सो ये सारे कॉम्बिनेशन से एक और चीज रह जाती है, वो है k, दैट इज कॉल्ड एट द ब्रेक पॉइंट. सो हम दो कॉम्बिनेशन इसमें यूज कर सकते हैं, एक n माइनस 1, एक k माइनस 1. दूसरा कॉम्बिनेशन सिर्फ n माइनस 1 और k. सो इस तरह से आप इस ग्रोथ फंक्शन को बाउंड कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द ग्रोथ फंक्शन एंड बाउंडिंग ऑफ द ग्रोथ फंक्शन. आई होप you have understood. Okay, should we go for the attendance? Is there any problem? Have you got something at least 10, 20, 30% students?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll go with the attendance. We'll go with division A. Roll number 1,
Present, sir.
2, 3,
Present.
4.
Present. Yes,
3 is
sir.
present. 4 is present. 5,
Present, sir.
6, 7,
Present, sir.
8, 9,
Present, sir.
10,
Present, sir.
11,
Present, sir.
12, 13, 14.
Present, sir. Present, sir.
12 is there, 13 is there, 14.
Present, sir.
Okay.
14 present.
Okay. 15. 16.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 18.
Present, sir.
19.
Present, sir.
20.
Present, sir.
Okay. 21. 22.
Present, sir.
23.
Present, sir.
24. 25.
Present, sir.
26.
Present, sir.
27.
Present.
28.
Present, sir.
29. 30.
Yes, sir.
31.
Present, sir.
32.
Yes, sir.
33.
Present, sir.
34. 35.
Present, sir.
36.
Present, sir.
37. 38.
Present, sir.
39. 40. 41.
sir. Present, sir.
Okay. 39. 39 is there? No. 40.
Present, sir.
Okay. 41.
Present, sir.
42. 43.
Yes, sir.
44.
Yes, sir.
45.
Present, sir.
46. 47.
Present, sir.
48.
Present.
49. 50. 51. 52. 53.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 54. 55. 56. 57.
Yes, sir.
58. 59. 60. 61. 62.
62 present, sir.
63. 64.
Present.
65.
Present.
66. 67.
Present, sir.
68. 69. 70. 71. 72.
72, yes, sir.
Okay. Any number that is remaining here? All the numbers are there? Okay. We'll go with division B. Roll number 1,
Present.
2,
Present.
3,
Present, sir.
4,
Yes, sir.
5,
Present.
6, 7, 8,
Present,
9.
sir.
8 is there.
Present, sir.
9,
Present.
10,
Present.
11, 12,
Present.
13,
Present, sir.
14, 15,
Present.
16,
Present.
17, 18,
Present.
19, 20. 19 is there?
Present, sir.
20,
Present.
21, 22,
Present.
22 is there. 23,
Present.
24, 25, 26,
Present.
27,
Present.
28, 29,
Present.
30,
Present.
31, 32,
Yes, sir.
33,
Present,
34.
sir.
Okay, 34, 35,
Present.
36,
Present, sir.
37,
Present, sir.
38, 39, 40,
Present, sir.
41, 42, 43, 44,
Present.
45, 46, 40,
Present.
okay, 47,
Present, sir.
48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57,
Yes, sir.
58,
58 present.
59,
Present, sir.
60, 61,
Present, sir.
62, 63,
Yes, sir.
64, 65, 66, 67,
Present.
68,
Yes, sir.
69,
Present, sir.
70, 71, 72. Any other number remaining?
31, sir.
31 आहे. Next
37.
37 भी है.
14, sir.
14. 14 is there.
Sir, 28.
28 is also there.
Sir, 34.
34 is there.
33, sir.
33 is there. Okay. We'll close here.